Today's focus is on special angles in trigonometry. In trigonometry, the special angles are 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45, 60, and 90 degrees. Those are the angles that we call special angles. Now, what makes them special angles is because the length that they give us, we can memorize it. You can actually memorize it off the top of your head. Whereas other angles, when you press, for instance, I just want you to go and press sin 10 degrees, right? Or go and press cos 20 degrees. The number that you're going to get is an irrational number, a very long number that you can't memorize, right? Whereas when you use these 5 different angles, the numbers are memorable. Now, what and how can we help ourselves to memorize these special angles? Because when you're starting out, you can't just remember them immediately. We are going to use 2 different types of triangles. The first one, we know it as a scalene, and the second one, we know it as an isosceles. Now, let's talk about the features of a scalene. There are 2 features that we need that will help us to memorize one of the triangles of special angles. Scalene is a type of triangle that, 1, it has got what? 3 unequal sides. 2, if the sides are unequal, it also means that the angles inside there are unequal angles. So the 3 sides, there is not even a single side which is equal to the other, and also the 3 angles, there is no angle that is equal to the other. And if we go to an isosceles is now different. How is it different? An isosceles has got 2 equal sides, and the moment a triangle has got 2 equal sides, it means that the angles which are inside, the interior angles which are opposite each other, they are equal. So it has got 2 equal sides and 2 equal angles. So this is what we're going to use to memorize today's work. Now, we're going to start with what? We're going to start with the scalene. Which angles are included in a scalene triangle? The angles which are included are 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. So, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. Now, amongst these 3 angles, there is not even a single angle which is equal to the other. So, your 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees triangle, this is what we call the scalene triangle. And if the 3 angles are not equal, it means that these 3 sides, they are also not equal, they are unequal, right? Now, if you want to remember and you're in an examination, because you're going to deal with questions whereby they say without the use of a calculator, meaning to say that you are not supposed to use the calculator. If you press the calculator, they will know that you have used your calculator. So if you want to remember this, you must now say sin 30 degrees. If you are to punch sin 30 degrees on your calculator, it gives you 1/2. Now remember, when you use sin, it means that this ratio, there is opposite, and here there is hypotenuse. So to make it easier for yourself to remember this, if I've got 30 degrees here, I will always know that on a right angle triangle that has got 30 degrees, the opposite side is equals to 1, and the hypotenuse is equals to 2. So if I just remember sin 30 degrees, then it's not a problem. Now, 1 and 2, they are not equal. Then the third side, it is square root of 3. Observe, 1, 2, and square root of 3. And these three sides are unequal. They are not equal at all. That's how we remember, right? Now, what are we going to do? We are now going to go for the what? For the isosceles triangle. The isosceles triangle looks like this. Here we've got 90 degrees. And isosceles, we said that the two sides are equal and two angles are equal. Meaning to say that here the angle is 45 degrees. And if you say 90 plus 45, you get 135. And if you say 180 minus 135, you get 45 here. Why did I say 180 minus 135? Because when you add these three angles, the three interior angles of a triangle, they add up to 180 degrees. Now, since these two angles are equal, it means that their sides are equal. Meaning to say this side and that side, they are equal. Here we have 1, there we have 1, right? Which satisfies the definition of an isosceles, that two equal sides and two equal angles. Now we are left with the third side, which is square root of 2. Remember, if you go to your hypotenuse, always, in the first video that I dealt with Pythagoras theorem, I told you that hypotenuse is always the longest side. So if you had to go and check here, 1, 2, and square root of 3, this 2 is longer than square root of 3. Let's just confirm that with the calculator. If I come here with a calculator and I press square root of 3, the answer I get is what? 1,7. And 1,7 is smaller than 2. If I come here and I press square root of 2, square root of 2, it is equal to what? I press S to D, it's 1,4. And 1,4 is bigger than 1, or the other one. All right, so that's what's happening. Now, let's continue. We are now going to write some values here. Values such as what? We're now going to write values such as sin 30 degrees, right? Cos 30 degrees, and tan 30 degrees. Let's find their value. So sin 30 degrees, I already told you that it's 1 over 2, opposite over hypotenuse. We're not going to waste our time here. 1 over 2. We are now using these triangles to find what? To find the trig ratios. So if we've got cos 30 degrees, this is where 30 degrees is. And on cos we use what? We use adjacent. And this side is the one which is adjacent. We use adjacent of hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is 2. Meaning to say that you have got square root of 3 over 2. Then here we've got tan 30 degrees. Tan 30 degrees is what? Opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent, which is 1 over square root of 3. Right? Which is 1 over square root of 3. But if you are to punch your calculator, you'll see that the calculator will give you the value of what? Under tan 30 degrees. It will give you square root of 3 over 3. Now, the question becomes, why is it that the calculator gives you square root of 3 over 3? Remember, I mentioned about what? I mentioned about irrational numbers. I spoke about irrational numbers earlier on. So, square root of 3 is what we call a surd. Right? Square root of 3 is a surd, and this square root of 3, this surd, it's an irrational number. So there is a topic which is called rationalize the denominator, simply meaning that you must make your denominator a rational number. So how do you do that? You then take this denominator, you multiply by it on the numerator as well as on the denominator, meaning to say that I'm going to say square root of 3 over square root of 3 here. And if I say 1 times square root of 3, the answer becomes square root of 3 all over. If I say square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3, both of them, they are square roots, so it becomes open bracket 3 multiplied by 3, and 3 multiplied by 3 gives us what? 9. So which is equals to square root of 3 over square root of 9. And square root of 9 is a perfect square, meaning to say that it gives us a rational number. So the final answer that we get is equal to square root of 3 over square root of 9 is equals to 3. So square root of 3 over 3. That's why your calculator, if you punch it, it gives you square root of 3 over 3. Because we have rationalized the denominator. We don't want to work with an irrational number. It just makes maths to take a little bit longer when you're now performing your calculations. All right. I'm going to continue with the special angles on the next video, and I'm also going to deal with some calculations. So please do join us. Don't forget to subscribe, share with those whom you love, hit the notification button, like, and comment. Thank you.